Today, we're going to talk about one of the most powerful and, get this, wealthiest empires in all of history, the Great Mali Empire of West Africa. But its story actually starts with a question you might not expect. So let me ask you, when you think of the wealthiest person who ever lived, who pops into your head? A tech giant from today? Maybe an oil baron or one of those industrialists from the Gilded Age? Well, the answer probably isn't who you're thinking of. And to find it, we have to go way back, to an empire that was literally built on gold, salt, and knowledge. So let's dive right into this empire of gold. Okay, so for more than 400 years, think about that, 400 years, the Mali Empire was a major power in West Africa. It all started when this one visionary founder managed to unite a bunch of smaller kingdoms right along the upper Niger River, forging them into this single, massive, influential state. So what was their secret? Well, it was kind of like the perfect storm of factors. They had just an insane amount of natural resources, gold dust and huge salt deposits. Plus, they were perfectly positioned to control these super important trade routes. And of course, to protect all that wealth, they had a powerful, really well-trained army. Every great empire has an origin story, right? And Mali's is no exception. It's this epic tale of a legendary king who literally built an empire from the ground up. The man who kicked it all off was Sundiata Keita. He's the foundational figure of this whole empire, and his legacy would go on to shape West Africa for centuries to come. And he had a nickname that just perfectly captured his vibe, the Lion King. Seriously. And this wasn't just some cool title. It was a symbol of his strength and his incredible achievement of uniting all his people. Take a look at this. This is modern-day Kirina. It might not look like much now, but it was right here, back in 1235, that a massive, decisive battle was fought. This victory secured the empire's foundation and really set the stage for its incredible rise. But here's the thing. Sundiata wasn't just a great warrior. He was a brilliant nation builder. After that victory at Kirina, he took over the territories of the old Ghana Empire, and then he got to work, consolidating his power and starting to expand his new domain. He really paved the way for everything that came next. Now, every empire has its golden age. From Mali, that era was defined by one ruler, a ruler whose incredible wealth would capture the imagination of the entire known world. Under the reign of Mansa Musa I, and by the way, Mansa means king or emperor, Mali reached its absolute peak. This was it, the height of its power, its culture, its wealth, and its influence. And it's hard to really grasp the scale of his ambition. With his powerful army, Mansa Musa didn't just maintain the empire, he doubled its size. Just think about that. This huge expansion brought vast new trade routes and tons of resources under his control. And right here, this brings us back to that question from the beginning. Because he controlled West Africa's enormous gold resources, a lot of historians today think that Mansa Musa's wealth was so vast, so unimaginable, that he could very well have been the richest person in all of human history. So how did the world find out about him? Well, a big part of it was one single event, his famous pilgrimage to Mecca in 1324. He traveled with this massive caravan. We're talking tens of thousands of people, and so much gold that he just gave it away to people as he went. He gave away so much, in fact, that he actually crashed the economies of some of the cities he passed through. And just like that, the world learned about Mali's unbelievable wealth. His fame spread like wildfire, so much so that European mapmakers took notice. A famous map, the Catalan Atlas, actually depicted him wearing a golden crown and holding a huge gold nugget. This one image became a legend. It directly inspired generations of European explorers to go searching for the fabled golden city of Timbuktu. But as we all know, even the greatest empires don't last forever. After the unbelievable heights of Mansa Musa's reign, the Mali Empire began a long, slow decline. So what happened? Well, it wasn't just one thing. It was more like a domino effect. After Mansa Musa died, a string of weaker rulers just couldn't hold everything together. At the same time, other trade centers started popping up, and that began to chip away at Mali's wealth. This economic trouble led to internal fighting and civil wars, which left the empire fractured and weak, and totally vulnerable to invasion from the rising Songhay Empire. It's really easy to just focus on the gold and the staggering wealth, But if that's all we talk about, we're missing the real story. The true, lasting legacy of the Mali Empire is all about culture and knowledge. At the heart of it all was the city of Timbuktu. It became this legendary center for learning, with amazing universities and the biggest library in all of Africa. Rulers like Mansa Musa created this thriving, diverse kingdom that led to incredible breakthroughs in architecture and education. Honestly, that intellectual and cultural wealth is a legacy that's way more valuable than gold. So, the story of the Mali Empire is this incredible saga of wealth, power, and amazing cultural achievement. And all of that leaves us with one last really interesting question to think about. Why isn't this incredible empire and its unbelievably rich king a household name today?